Hello everybody and welcome back to another video on my channel. It is Kevin here and I'm a miniaturist living in New England and you are crooked. But for some reason my tripod does not want to work right now. We're gonna roll with it. This week's video, we're gonna be making a 1/24th scale dollhouse kit that I bought, I think over a year ago now. The reason why I'm making this is because I have a full-time job. Unfortunately, miniatures is not my full-time job. I wish it was, maybe someday, we'll never know. And so sometimes I just need a quick video to make so I can get one out there for you guys to watch. This one, I felt like a kit would be quicker. Whether or not that's true remains to be seen. You will see, I know. Do you know? You'll see. I thought it'd be quicker. I just wanted to look at something a little bit simpler. I have a couple of things I need your help with, but I'm gonna leave that for the end of the video, so make sure you just stick around and you can help me with the concerns / questions I have about why I almost said it. So I'm gonna wait. Just go ahead and watch. We'll turn the camera around and we'll get started on that, and I'll see you on the other side. First and foremost, I just want to say that I actually normally work in 12th scale, not 24th scale or 1/24 or ½ inch scale. I usually work in 12th scale, and that's just because I find it easier. It's easier to do the math for me. Math is not my strong suit, so if I can skip over that, I will, and that's usually why I work in 12th scale. However, it may not seem that way because this is the second 24th scale project I have worked on this channel. And that kind of ties into why I'm actually working on another 24th scale project rather than a 12th scale, is because I'm a firm believer that hobbies don't have to be expensive, miniatures don't have to be expensive. It may sometimes take a little searching for the cheaper options and, you know, scrounging around for them. But there is a way to do it on a budget. But you might be asking yourself, Kevin, what does that have to do with cheap miniatures? What does that have to do with this project? This is a kit. Kits are expensive. I found this at a thrift store. I have looked up this kit, and we'll talk about in a second where I believe it came from, but I looked at this kit and normal price, it's about $45 USD as of 2025. I got this kit for, I believe, between $4.99 and $6.99, maybe $7.99, but I also had a 20% off coupon because I got it at a Savers and I donated something. So it is possible to find kits, and this is not the first kit I have found at a thrift store. I have found full 12 scale dollhouses, usually the cheaper one that's like the more basic kit. You're not going to find like an Allison Jr. Well, you might. I have not found an Allison Jr. But I've also found dollhouse furniture in 12th scale. So really the moral of this story is that if you are willing to look and dig, you might find some good stuff at the thrift store. And this kit is one of those things that I found. A little bit about the actual kit. This is called the 1/24th 2-story cottage kit, or on the Etsy account that I believe this is originally from, it's called 1/24th scale room box kit, 2-story dollhouse kit, cottage style dollhouse room box with veranda. Not as catchy as a story cottage kit, but this is by Hera's Miniature Manor. This is somebody that I found through Google Lens. It's the only way I could find it. It's the only listing I could find of this dollhouse. What I find really strange is this is actually a dollhouse from Australia that only has 3 ratings on Etsy for this exact product. And I found it in Rhode Island, of all places. It's always interesting to me to like find things at the thrift store and wonder where they came from. So it's just kind of wild to me to think this came from Australia, but that's besides the point. I will link down below this person's Etsy shop if you would like to go look at it. They do sell other things besides this kit, and there are some nice miniatures. It is from Australia, so maybe if you're in Australia, you could order something, or if you're in the United States and you're okay with shipping, you can always find good stuff at the thrift store. So I'll go ahead and link that Etsy below so you can go ahead and take a look. To start actually working on this kit, I decided to follow the instructions when it said to dry fit everything together to make sure everything fits. I don't remember now if the instructions on this one specifically tell you to use tape or not. I know I've just seen other people in the past use tape. I should have used tape. I don't know why. I don't know why I thought this was gonna stay together when I tried doing this. It's not a wooden puzzle, and it's not supposed to stay together. So when it kept falling apart, I was getting frustrated, and I knew it was my fault though. I knew it was my fault for not using tape, and I decided to call it a night because I was tired of being angry at a piece of wood. It's the next day, and obviously last night did not go according to plan when I was trying to put this together. Today I'm going to actually follow the instructions on how to do this, and hopefully, I kind of did last night, but I'm going to try again. This time though, I'm going to also try and use tape. I don't have any masking tape. I'm hoping that this washi tape I have is strong enough to hold this together. My dog's shaking in the background. But yeah, I don't know if this is going to be strong enough, but we're going to see. Well, let's try it out. Here's another hint for you. If anyone tries to tell you that washi tape is a good replacement for masking tape when trying to hold a dollhouse together, no matter the scale, no matter if it's 24th scale, they're lying to you. I don't know why I thought this would work either, because washi tape is notoriously not as sticky because it's meant for paper. It's a paper product, and it didn't hold up. The first one held a little, And the second and third that I tried did not want to stick to what I believe is MDF. I actually don't know what this is made out of. The paper did not say. I don't know what I was thinking, to be honest. Sometimes I try things and I figure why not try what you have instead of buying more. And in this instance, that did not work for me. But you know what? I tried. And I didn't waste that much washi tape. So that's always a plus. So what's happening here is I'm running into the fact that this washi tape sucks, which I was kind of expecting, but I don't have any masking tape. I think I'm, like, this one piece of washi tape is staying on. I don't know. The rest is not. It just kept peeling off. That's okay. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and put it together. Although you're supposed to tape it while it's drying as well. I guess I could hold it like this for a really long time. I don't know. It's also, I'm a little stressed. We'll figure it out though. We'll figure it out. Let's just keep going. In this clip, I'm just taking all the small pieces that are coming from the kit and trying to dry fit them as best as I can to make sure they work, which includes the hinge type thing for the door and the window that goes on the second floor. Just trying off the little pieces to make sure that they all will fit correctly when I go to glue it together, because I knew that I needed to at least try and dry fit it as best I could before moving forward. So here I am just checking all the pieces and stuff and making sure they're all good. I think I understand what I'm supposed to be doing here, but what I will say is if this ends up how I think it's supposed to go, it's not gonna actually be, the door's not gonna be shut all the way. I mean, it'll be shut, but there's gonna be a gap in here. Yeah, I don't know how to fix that. I think the wood pieces just aren't the right size. I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm trying to test this out, my theory, before I glue it in, because they say to dry fit everything before you do it. So I'm trying to dry fit everything, but I should just pull out my tweezers. Okay. Okay. This was my suspicion. Let me see if I can show you. When I glue this in, there's going to be a gap right here, which isn't the end of the world, but it's pretty noticeable, I think. Maybe that's for the door to open. That's probably for the door to open. But what I will say is on here, it shows this fitting perfectly and then there being a little gap right here. But once I glue these on here, there's not really room for a gap, and this doesn't even, like, this isn't flush up against that. Like, if I do any more gap than that, it's gonna be touching the bottom. But on here, it shows it like perfectly lining up. And I don't know, maybe I'm just being nitpicky. This doesn't look like it fits. And I thought maybe it was the wrong piece, so I looked and this is it. This is my only option. Because this one goes to this. And that one doesn't really fit how it shows in the picture either. Because in the main picture, they look pretty flush up against it. I don't know, maybe I'm just being picky. It's fine though. I'm gonna start gluing. We're gonna hope for the best here. We're gonna hope for the best. Although I'm now running into an issue that I just realized, that if I want these to be certain colors, I should paint them before I start gluing stuff. But my issue with that is I don't have a set idea yet of what I want it to look like. So I don't know what colors I would paint the trim and stuff. I don't know. Oh no. You know, I might just have to learn from my mistakes and glue this, and then later, if I want, I'll have to be really careful when it comes to the detail. I don't know. Oh crap. This is a lot more difficult than I thought it'd be. You know what I'll do is I'll go ahead and glue down the stuff on the door, because my guess is the doors are all gonna be one color. Yeah, I'll do that for now. Yes. Okay, we'll do that. Next, I needed to go ahead and actually put the front together, but I started with the door. My only issue again was, while I think that the instructions are really good, and I think this is overall a really nice kit, there are some things in the pictures that didn't necessarily line up. And again, it is very nitpicky, so I can't really be picky, especially because I got this at the thrift store. I just feel like if you're going to buy this kit, you should be aware of any, like, you know, little discrepancies that you might run into with it. There are a little bit of things that don't necessarily line up exactly how the pictures show. Now, what I will say is they don't look bad. The kit looks fine when it's put together. You probably wouldn't even notice. The only reason why I'm noticing it is because of the actual pictures. Overall, worth buying it. Worth putting it together. It's not going to look bad. It just may not necessarily look exactly how it does in the photos. And again, I know I'm being nitpicky here, but you know, when you're spending your money on stuff, I just want to give I can't call it a review. I guess I can call it a review, but you know, this isn't sponsored. I wasn't sent this. I just found it at a thrift store, and I just want to give my honest opinion on it. After I was done with the door and its hinges, I went ahead and you can see here, I glued on the front veranda porch. And because I could not find any tape that would work to hold this together while it was gluing, I just went ahead and used my 1, 2, 3 blocks, which I will also use later on the walls to hold it up and hold it in place, because these things are heavy and rigid and worked, honestly. So if you don't have tape, getting 1, 2, 3 block, or if you have something heavy, maybe like a giant book, this would also work.
Although, you know, tape is probably cheaper than a 1-2-3 block.
Now that this part is drying, it's basically dry, but I'm gonna give it some time off to the side without touching it, obviously. It's time to put together this, and what has me worried is it jumps from this to this with no instructions, and like I feel like I can gauge how to do it based on just what I'm seeing, but oh wait, no, it does say, but it's further down. Okay, these instructions are a little confusing. I mean, they're good, they're just a little confusing. So yeah, I guess it does say what to do. Okay, I'm a little worried because also I can't get this to not like wobble. I'm sorry, that looks horrible. I can't get it to not wobble, so I'm gonna have to put something on each side to hold it up in place while gluing it. But let's try and put the sides together now, I guess.
I didn't have any wood glue, and I think maybe that would have worked a little bit better. In the end, it ends up being really firm, but I know that people usually put these together with wood glue, so I don't know, maybe tacky glue is fine. But I went ahead and glued it, put the 1-2-3 blocks to hold it up, did the same thing for the bottom floor, and then I put on the other side of the house. I had to think about what it was called. Here I am gluing on the inside door frame, which is slightly too small, but that is purposeful, which I thought was really clever because this is what prevents the door from swinging inward. It only swings out, and that is purposeful. So I just thought that was an interesting little tidbit I wanted to show here. And then I wanted to show you what it looked like once it was all glued on. I did the frame on the outside as well as the frame on the window, and this is just what it looks like all put together before I glue it onto the actual overall house. I glued on the flat part of the roof, and then I glued on the slanted part of the roof, and then it was time to work on the dormer. And let me just tell you, you're gonna see me lose my mind in a second here. This dormer took so much work. I tried following the instructions. I read them, not exaggerating, like 6, 7, 8 times, and I had to take this apart multiple times. I could not get the angles correctly. I could not get it to sit. I believe the cut of the window on the actual roof is too big, so it couldn't completely cover it. It was a little bit of a nightmare, I'm not gonna lie. The dormer was a nightmare.
Now, I'm not saying I'm going insane, but I have ripped this apart twice already. This is the 3rd time, and I'm just saying this better work or I'm gonna lose my freaking mind.
I finally got the dormer looking okay enough that I could just kind of ignore all the imperfections that I was finding. I glued on the inside frame part of the window, and then it was done. And let's take a look at it.
That's it for this video. Look at this, look at this, look at this. I didn't fully recognize how small 124 scale is. I typically work in 112 scale, and when I made my cardboard castle, that's 124 scale. It's supposed to be really grand, so it's still rather large. This is tiny. It is it the size of my head? I'm trying to look at the camera finder. I can't tell if that's the same size or not. It's way smaller than I was expecting. I'm not mad at it. It's just gonna be different. It's gonna be different to make furniture and stuff for this because, again, the cardboard castle, I made like medieval furniture and thrones and stuff, so it's not like this. But yeah, it's very tiny, very, very tiny. What I need your help with now is what should I do with it? I think I have some ideas. I thought about just doing like a storybook cottage kind of thing with like a thatched roof, some stucco walls. I don't know. I haven't decided. I thought about putting a chimney on, but as I showed you, I like being able to put books on the side so that way maybe it could be like on a shelf pretty easily. But overall, I don't know what to do with it. I don't know what colors to paint it. I don't really know what to do with it. Like, should I go storybook cottage? Is that too like on the nose? Should I do something different? Does it matter if it's on the nose? That's what I'm struggling with. I don't know. I'm really not sure. Also, I'm really surprised with how thick these walls are. I feel like 12 scale dollhouses also have this thickness of wall. I did have a few problems with this kit. The instructions were really good for the most part. The dormer, as I said earlier, the dormer roofs, I'm not a fan. They're really difficult to put together. It's really hard to get the angle correct and not have it like stick out incorrectly. Overall though, I do recommend this kit. I am gonna link below who I think it's from. Again, as I said earlier, I don't know for sure who it's from because I found it at a thrift store, which was a really good find because this is not cheap. I mean, it's not really expensive, but it was much cheaper at the thrift store as the kit. If you have any idea what you think I should do with this house, please, 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 please comment below. Let me know. I could use the help. think I'm gonna add a magnet to this though, so it'll stay shut when I'm shaking it. Because that's the one thing, that's the one thing about this that I really have a problem with, is that this door does not stay shut. I mean, I guess no Dollhouse door stays shut, but I think I might add a magnet to that. If you have any ideas for me, make sure you put it in the comments below. Let me know, help me out. I'll probably wait a week or two to start working on anything else on this house, so that way I can see if anybody has any ideas. That's it for this week. Make sure you hit the like button below, because it really helps me out. It really helps with the algorithm stuff. And if you like me, or you like miniatures, make sure you hit that subscribe button below, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.